Hello, everyone. It is Thursday again, and we are continuing our conversation about piano during the summer. What are you planning to do this summer? Are you planning to teach? Are you thinking about taking a break? What do you normally do for summer lessons? Do you offer camps? Do you offer weekly lessons, or do you struggle with getting students and, how to stick with everything? Hey there, Mindy.
Hello.
What are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about the number one secret to keeping students engaged over the summer.
Awesome.
Yeah? All right. Well, it's not about forcing them into regular lessons. Although if you use regular lessons and it's working for you, then, don't fix what's not broken. But teachers that we talk to normally have problems getting people to stay during the summer. And so they try camps or they try, different things. And it's like, which levers can we pull to get these people to stay and pay us money and continue with their education? So we've come up with a solution that will be free of guilt trips, be free of, coercing people and beg, borrowing, and stealing to get them to participate in summer classes. And all without making it overwhelming for you as a teacher.
Yes, yes. So let's start with the big question. Why do so many students quit lessons in the summer?
That is the million-dollar question, for sure. In our experience, it just comes down to four things. Number one is vacations and travel. Families aren't around every week, and it's not like we all get together to coordinate our summer schedules and make sure that everyone's gone the same time. It's just completely random, and it kind of disrupts the schedule. Number two is burnout. I know I get burned out by May, and I'm ready for a little bit of a break. And I know the students get that too, because I live with 4 kids who go to school and they're ready for a break. So it's just probably just needing to have a reset, as could be a big reason for people not continuing. Also, maybe families are reappropriating their income. Instead of sending their kids to piano lessons, maybe they want to do something different. A sports camp or a STEM camp or something different, and they choose to use their money that way instead of sending them to you.
Yeah.
And the fourth one is that sometimes there's just no clear reason to continue. We haven't communicated that the next natural step in the progression is to do something that keeps them learning, but maybe do it in a different way.
Yes, yes. So here's the thing. We need to plan for something that is, of course, musical, learning the piano, but that is fun, flexible for both parents and for us, and social, because we want the students to want to come back to piano,
Yeah.
right?
Which they do when all of those things are in place, right? I mean, kids are usually game for anything. It's the parents that we have to sell on this.
Right,
Right?
exactly, yeah.
And that's why the summer piano clubs that we've created are going to work so well. It's not a rigid weekly schedule, although you could use it as that to fill in the blanks and just teach every week. It's not a music camp, although you could use it for that.
Yeah.
It is a musical experience that keeps students engaged and wanting more. And even better than that, they're standalone.
Yes, very, very right. So, all right, let's talk about how this works. Summer Piano Club is built around 3 key things that make students stick with music. Short-term wins. So each session feels like a success. Low commitment. So there's no long-term pressure. So if you have new students coming in just to try piano, that's fine. That's fine. And then number 3 is group energy. Music with friends is more fun. And those are the things that we are concentrating on in our summer piano club.
So let's break that down a little bit. So with the summer piano club, each class is designed to give students an instant sense of accomplishment. So they're going to learn a short piece that's going to be cool, And by the end of the class, they've already performed it together. So there's not this pressure that they need to go home and practice in all of their spare time. Now they have to give up Minecraft to be able to practice.
Right.
No, no, no. Like they get to have an instant win in class. And if you do your job right, they'll go home and keep playing it.
Yeah. So that's very important. We want them to keep those skills, those piano skills, fresh for when school starts. And this is the perfect way because we're going to have them practice in class and perform. So they are actively learning. There's no weeks of practicing, no struggling through the same song, just fast, fun learning. And that's what keeps them coming back because they know they'll be successful in class.
Exactly. And another big reason that Summer Piano Club is going to work is that you don't have to schedule your students to a full summer schedule. We are teachers too. We needed stuff like this too. So we've created this club to be set up so that every single class is independent of the others. There's still learning going on, but you don't need to have the class before it to be successful at the class that you show up at. So it really, really does give you flexibility to say to families, tell me which weeks you want to come,
Yeah.
or which days you want to come, depending on how you want to offer it.
Yes. This means that if a family is traveling, it's totally fine. They can attend one session, two, or all five. It's completely flexible. And let me expand a little bit more on that. You need to figure out how much you want to charge for doing it this way. Just because we are offering them to choose doesn't mean that you have to do that. So let's say what I am planning is I'm only going to teach 2 days a week. On Mondays, I'm going to have my multi-level 8 and up. And they can sign up either at 10 in the morning or at 3 in the afternoon. And then I know depending on if this is a 45-minute lesson that they normally have or a 30-minute lesson, I can tell them your tuition is the same this summer, but you have to choose this many days and then your tuition will be the same. So you're going to have to sit down and do the math, okay, before you tell them, you know, choose what you want. You need to make sure that you're going to make the money that you want. So you be specific about, okay, choose this many days. I know, uh, Mindy, you're doing it a little bit differently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm still working out the details.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I can even share them right now because it keeps changing. I keep having all these ideas bouncing around in my head. But the idea, like knowing that they are standalone classes is going to make it easier for me to tell my students, pick what works for you.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mindy, we have a question from Cherry.
Mm-hmm.
I can barely see it here. It says, could you put more than one student on a piano, playing in different octaves? So in the multi-level plan that we have,
So that's the 8 and up.
8 and up, if they are prep pianist
Or piano.
and pianist one also, yes, you can do that. If there are upper elementary, as in pianist 2, 3, or 4, we wouldn't recommend. For the plan that we have for young children, which are ages 4 and up, you can just use one piano. Well, 4 to 8, I'm sorry, thank you.
Yeah.
4 to 8, then you can just use one piano.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you have to look at the levels that you have. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you had that question, Sheree, because we have some more questions that we wanted to answer for everybody here.
Yeah.
The first one is very interesting because we went about this thinking about it differently than we normally do. People just need reassurance that students are still going to learn. Are you really going to learn stuff in one session? Yes, one class, whatever we want to call it. Yes, there will be learning. If you show up on the rhythm day, you're going to have really good experience with rhythm. If you show up on a Beethoven day, you're going to have an experience with Beethoven and the theory that goes along with the piece that we're teaching there, and games, and you'll be able to earn the sticker that goes with that challenge, because each day has a different challenge. So if somebody comes to all 5 days, then yeah, they're going to be really super well rounded. But if someone only comes to one, learning will still occur.
Right. Right. And then there's another question, that what if I don't have enough students for a group? So of course you could teach them privately. This can be used privately also. But remember, we are creating this in a multi-level way so that you can put different students together and still learn. So if you don't have enough for a group at 3 o'clock, maybe your 4 o'clock group has space that you can add or put them together on one piano. Think about it that way. Think about how it's going to be easier for you to have them all in a group instead of several private lessons, because you don't want to be repeating
Or
the same thing over and over. I'm sorry?
or same age classes. They
Oh,
don't all be
yes.
the same age or same level.
Yes, yes. You can do same age classes and it's going to work beautifully. So what if everyone's the same level? It doesn't matter. Learning's going to happen. And when you play together, you as a teacher play a duet with them. You can play one of the other parts and it's going to be excellent. It's
Yeah.
going to be excellent.
Yeah, totally. But experiment with different things. Maybe if you only have a buddy, like 2 kids in a class, it'll still work for that. So this is a great curriculum.
Yeah.
Okay, the last question that we wanted to address was space. What if you don't have a ton of space? Is this still something that you can do? I have a 300 square foot space that I am teaching out of. Somehow I managed to get 7 pianos in there and a little bit of carpet. So sometimes the things that we would do if I had a bigger studio, we'll just do seated at the piano, and other things we'll come over to the rug for. But you don't need to have a really huge big space to make this happen. If you have one piano, or you can get one piano and a keyboard, you can still make this happen. There's a lot of flexibility to adapt it for your individual circumstance.
Correct. And I do have a bigger space than Mindy. And so what do I do because I have bigger space? Well, I have more students. So it's just like if I'm in a 300 square space, because, I want to pack them in more. And it also depends on how many students you want to handle at one time. I'm okay with bigger groups. Some teachers are not, and that is okay. It will still work. So let's recap. Why is this we call it a perfect solution, okay? Remember, new students, there's not going to be any long-term commitment for students. So more signups. You can sign up the ages that you want. You can put them in same level classes or multi-level classes, and there's no commitment, even though you do want them to stay for the fall. But if that is not your goal and you're just going to teach them music and make music together, you're going to have a different atmosphere.
Can I say something about that, Dorla?
Yeah.
When I was starting out with groups, I would go to piano teacher friends in my area, and I would ask if I could advertise my camps in their studio. And I put a big thing at the bottom. I don't want to steal you from this teacher. I just want to provide an extra fun learning experience for you this summer. So, it doesn't have to be the no long-term commitment specifically with you. Although if you find somebody new, you're probably going to close the sale because they're going to love what's going on in your studio and be a part of it. But yeah, that just jumped in my head as like something that you could consider if you wanted to be able to teach more, but not necessarily have to incorporate all of those students into your schedule in the fall.
Yep. Correct. So no long-term commitments. Number 2, each session is going to be fun, it's going to be social, and it's going to be rewarding because they are going to be learning and the students will stay engaged. And then number 3, flexible scheduling means fewer cancellations. You keep earning your money, but I always want to say this up front. Plan for what you want to happen. Don't just say, oh, just pick whatever. No, you tell them what they get to pick from, or ask them before what days are better for you, and then make your schedule that way.
Yeah, totally. And honestly, the Summer Piano Club is just going to make your summer so much easier because it's literally print and play.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go purchase anything. You don't have to go pull stuff out of your archives to make stuff happen. You don't have to spend time in excessive preparations. It's literally go buy a bag of popcorn if you want to offer that as a snack, or have students bring their own snacks, and then just print the activities that we've provided for you and play the music and play the games. It's really that easy.
Yeah. There's no sewing of bean bags, right, Mindy?
Yeah, I was telling Dorla when I did her Pura Vida camp, she has us start out with a beanbag activity to help with filling the beat and rhythm. And I didn't have any bean bags, and I didn't want to go buy any bean bags because I didn't have time to buy bean bags. So one night, really late at night, I pulled my sewing machine out and I was cutting up an old pillowcase and filling it with rice or beans so that I could have these bean bags on the cheap. None of that.
No, none of that. So everything in the piano club is there for you to, so you need paper and a printer.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to cut out some stuff. We have cards that we suggest you laminate, but you don't have to. You don't have to. So if you're excited about making this summer your best one yet with your teaching and in your studio, I'm going to add the link below so you can take a look at our piano clubs. And if you have questions, you can add them here in the comments, or you can email us or send us a private message. I'm happy to answer. And before we say goodbye, I want to say hi to Anna. I hope you're still there.
Yeah.
All righty.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us today. We hope that we've inspired you to think a little bit outside the box and consider some different things that will make your summer easier, but still profitable. And I promise it'll be fun for you too, not just your students.
Yeah.
And if this sounds interesting to you and you know of any piano teacher friends, they can be private teachers, it doesn't matter. You can share this resource with them too, and it'll be a lot of fun for everybody.
It will be. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Have a good week.
Bye-bye.